Hi guys, VTech and Angie, Blueberry Hill. So here we are. This is 327. We're getting another container delivered. Later in this video, you'll see another one being delivered as well, so it'll make a total of 6. We're still waiting on 5 more. They're being a little bit slow on deliveries. We had some weather issues, of course, and then the drivers don't seem to like driving on this surface. I'm not sure what their problem is, but it doesn't look too bad. It's a little bumpy, like wavy, but it's not challenged by any means. At least I don't think so anyway. So we're waiting on that. Nothing we can do about it. So once the truck drivers get here, they go pretty quick. They all have 4-wheel drive Ford 350s, and they park these things pretty quick, drop them off. The one you see sticking out there right in front of the truck, he delivered the one the day before, and it hooked on his trailer as he was pulling out. You'll see him pulling out in a second here, but it dragged it out, and he didn't want to put it back. So I said, okay, fine. Later on in the videos, you'll see I use the Bobcat to actually push it back in place, so they're all kind of in line. You also see right where the trailer's at, there's a mound of dirt and rocks and stuff. I'm going to be moving that, making a ramp to the back of the shop. That was our kind of plan initially, so I could drive stuff up there, but it's kind of a stretch driving a trailer, so we're just going to use it to do the RTV and maybe a vehicle or two, but not with trailers. So here you see a sped up thing. I'm making the ramp to the back of the shop. This was the whole intended plan initially, so we could actually trailer stuff up there, but it's going to just be used for maybe a truck or two and then Angie's RTV and stuff, just to gain access to the shop. The dogs love it, so there you go. But anyway, that mountain of dirt you saw behind the trailer a few seconds ago, that's what I'm moving all this stuff from, and I use it all up to make this ramp. It worked out pretty good, and then we're going to probably get maybe 2 truckloads of road fill to make this nice and smooth. We're not going to do the road fill all the way around the shop though, just on the ramp area, and we'll call that good. So meanwhile, while I finally got the Bobcat running real good. It took me several days of extra work to find all the leaks, hydraulic leaks. There was 3 main hoses that were leaking. One was really bad. The other ones were wisping, but regardless, it was peeing out the back of the Bobcat, so I had to fix them. Now there's a trickle of hydraulic fluid, and that's not too bad. Maybe like a gallon every couple days, 3 days. So I'm willing to live with that. Apparently you'll never get these things leak proof, so whatever. But here you see me doing a bunch of tree work, trying to not knock trees over. But anyway, that's removing all the cedars I knocked down on the right side. Overall, you'll see me knock down quite a few. All those trees in front of us, right beside that nice little green patch. Near the end of the video, you'll see that they're all gone. I do a little walkthrough on the property after several days of this work. But anyway, we're just trying to make it more open and get rid of the weedy cedars. They take a lot of water, and they definitely knock out light for all the oaks and elms that we have. So a pretty good pile of shrubbery. We decided to not burn further up the hill. We're just going to burn them all right here. It got a little bit warm, and I did scorch a couple of the very tall oaks after we started this on fire. After this, we actually started doing less piles, so smaller fires. But nevertheless, we got rid of all of it. We did, I'm guessing 4 or 5 days of tree removal. And burning, so continuous fire for 3-4 days, even with the crazy storms that we had here a couple days ago. But anyway, more work. So here's a short clip sped up for Bobcat action, how it pulls trees out of the ground without any effort. That little area you see near the dark tree on the right, there's a clearing right behind there, and I'm going to knock all those cedars out so we have a clear view to it. From here to the right, we're taking almost all the cedars out of commission, and then also several in that clearing area. There's a rock ledge. The bright green there is on kind of a flat rock ledge. It looks really pretty back there, and we're just making the view work for us. And that's kind of due west where we're looking right now, so it looks really nice in the evenings. It's my favorite time of day here. Here, the Bobcat's fantastic here. I mean, I worked pretty hard to get this tree out. It's huge root ball, and the tree's pretty heavy. It's a challenge always to back these things out from where I'm at, because there's a little rock ledge there, a little rocky ledge, not a real ledge. So it takes me a while to get this out, and then I'm gonna switch over to the grapple to actually pile everything on the fire and make it all work. You'll see me putting this one on the fire, I think, in a little bit. But anyway, it's pretty easy work. It's only a few minutes, believe it or not, on doing these kind of trees. So it's quick work. I probably do 30 to 60 a day. You know, some are small, several big ones. This is probably 25 to 30 feet tall. So anyway, hope you enjoy that. So switch to the grapple and drag this big tree out, and then before I put it on the fire, I'm going to cut it up a little bit because there's way too many big branches. You can see how heavy it is. The grapple was struggling at this point because it rips the roots apart when I try to click on them, grab them. But I finally get it out of the way, and then I grab it from the side, and then I cut a whole bunch of these branches off. You'll see that in a few seconds. And then we pile it up on the fire, and we're good to go. So after the chainsawing, I just grabbed the remainder of the tree and just grab it, throw it on the fire, and get rid of all this stuff. These things burn really good. You know, no wonder forest fires happen down here. The cedar, watch it actually catch fire before I even move out of the way. So, but this fire's been burning for 2 days or whatever. And hey, another container. So here's our 6th container. This was actually a fairly quick delivery. We placed this between the other 3 and 2 containers that we had. This is where I had the Bobcat sitting for a couple of months while I was waiting on parts and getting it fixed. So I made it wide enough so we can throw a container in the middle of it, and there you see the Bobcat down on the bottom there. But anyway, it fit, no problem. They just dropped this off, and I'm waiting on 5 more, hopefully the next week. So this is Thursday. Forget what date it is, but anyway, it's Easter weekend, so nothing's happening on that weekend. So here you're gonna see Angie and myself. Here I pushed the container back, kind of make it all level. I think I basically just dragged it and it hit a rock on the back end, so it didn't want to move anymore, and I was okay with that. Then I call Angie out, and we actually level the blue one out a tiny bit, and we get the red one that I was just pushing around up in the air on the back side, so we could get ready for the next one. Anyway, fun and games. So the Bobcat's not super strong. Definitely, this one's not anyway, to lift the whole container too high off the ground. We could lift it about a foot off the ground. There was Angie. She was putting the boards underneath the corner there just to get it off the ground. And then we go on the back side and we do the same thing, just to keep things from the dirt. So here's a kind of a walkthrough of the property. I decided to do this since we're spent so many days burning cedars and stuff. I did a normal speed walkthrough, so I'm just holding the GoPro, and we're just walking through where we're clearing everything. So you can see on the left, that used to be just solid cedars. If you want, care to, you can review some of the old videos where we're busting out some of them near the top of the shop. But this was all super thick cedar growth, and we kept all the elms and the oaks and stuff, whatever the hardwoods are. I don't know all the trees, but anyway. And there's our Mars planet looking thing where we're burning for days on end. But here's a panoramic kind of view of the whole property, or section of the property. It's 12 acres, so this is just the top section. So here's that little clearing that on the left, where that giant tree that I showed you I was chainsawing out and stuff. Here's Whiskey. That's my dog, our dog. He's a year old. Very curious about anything that moves out there in the bushes. Anyway, so here we are, just walking through. This was it was a pretty rocky area. So I actually moved a lot of rock out of the way as well. It's still not manicured, of course. I mean, we're not going to manicure this property, but we're getting rid of all the branches on the ground and stuff like that, just to clean it up. And once the grass and the wildflowers take over, it looks fantastic. Here's a little area that's kind of interesting. That we have a little stream. It's a dry stream pretty much right now, but it almost looks like there's a little waterfall right here, and then further up to the left. I might videotape that in the future, but there's a little section that's apparently has some good water when it's flowing, and it's definitely pretty here. It's a nice spot to actually sit and watch the sunset. Sunset's behind us at this point. It's about 10 o'clock right now when I'm shooting this, and anyway, I'm walking up to the other end of the clearing where the stream comes from, and I did some pretty rough bobcat work here, and I made kind of a path for hopefully the water to push through, and knocked out a ton of cedars right there that were in front of us. But that was a lot of trees right on the right side there. So I'll follow the little creek to the right. It's really pretty in here. There's a ton of hardwoods. We're not going to obviously manicure or rip out all these cedars here. We're just going to leave it wild. But just enough where we could drive the RTV through here and stuff. And here's a game trail, which kind of opens up. We found pig tracks and deer all over the place. They're always down here somewhere. And of course, Whiskey just takes off after them. He's a Staffordshire Terrier and a lab mix, so he's pretty eager to go after anything that moves out there, but he always comes back, so that's good. But anyway, I'll say we're walking through the clearing. That little tree on the right, it just bent over. This whole area to the left side of that was just super thick in cedars. So right where I'm walking, this was all cedar trees, and that's what we spent about a day and a half burning and collecting and burning. And now we just have a pretty nice clearing area. It's super quiet out here. Fantastic. We're really enjoying it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.